Welcome to an all-new Conformist Peach Cobbler, a horror pod. I am your host, Brad Reed, and oh, those are cool. That's Nugget, Thunderlips, Nuxterdamus.
These are for the Mosquito Bites I got on the 4th of July.
Dude, is your shirt all messed up in the back now, or does it help? Does it work?
It works. Yeah, it works.
It seems like a little overkill, like, you're scratching it, but you're also going to have to get stitches now.
Yeah, but it plays into my S&M lifestyle, though. I already have plenty of flogging marks on my back. So.
There you go. All right. Well, that's pretty cool. I mentioned this is a horror pod, so later on we got movies to talk about. Fear Street, False Positive. We're gonna talk about those. Also, you saw Unholy, but I didn't, so we'll kind of get your take on that one. And we're gonna talk about the new Halloween trailer. We got all kinds of stuff. So before we do that, though, I got a couple of things to tell everybody about. One of the things is our Dope Pods, our Patreon, patreon.com/Dope Pods. And that's where you get this podcast and the Nerds to Men podcast for $1 a month. And you're like, well, what's the difference between if I get it here or Apple or Spotify or watch it on YouTube or Facebook? They insert ads. So like you might hear that one, like are you wanting to be an alpha male? And and so like if you're
soy boy.
Yeah, soy boy. If you're like me, I mean, you don't have to comment, but if I hear that, I'm like click and I turn it to something else. So if you don't want to hear that stuff, then you can go to our patreon.com/dope pods, and for $1 a month, it's ad free. This CPC, Nerds to Men, and we may do some more. Nugget might love podcasting so much that he decides to like do a different podcast every day. Would you do that?
Yeah, I'm pretty much just good at horror movies, and that's it.
Comedy.
Yeah, well, I does what I does.
Yeah. So that's that. And then also I wanted to kind of mention, I don't talk about it enough on my shows because it's, business I'm part of, but can you see that? These are our dabstronaut pre-rolls, and these are special enhanced pre-rolls because they've got our member OG flour, our member OG hash rosin, which is solvent-free, solventless. It's pretty clean and nice. And then also our member OG keef. So if you could see this thing, Nugget, it's like a joint here that is covered in the hash rosin and keef. Like it's just
nice.
Yeah.
Can you push it off screen and I'll pick it up?
Yeah.
There you go. Go for it.
There you go. Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Technology.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. But yeah, that's the Dabstronauts. We also do the live hash rosin, on its own. Then we've got Pot County Cannabis. So pre-rolls, vape carts, flour, all kinds of stuff. So go to your local dispo. We're all over the state. So odds are they have some of our stuff. But if they don't, ask for it and then they'll get it in there. So tell them contact Brad Reed. And I won't give you the number though, because I don't answer my phone anyway.
Oh, I have your number right here. I'll just give it out.
Thank you.
No?
Do you even get calls from any real people anymore? Or
no.
Is it just, because like all the calls I get, like if I'll save them if they're a dispensary calling me to place an order. But if I don't know the number, I don't answer. And that's, back in my radio days, I did that too. But now even, because nobody's calling that I know. If I know people, they're texting me.
Yeah, and you'll answer and it'll be silence and you'll there bloop.
Yeah,
and then it's a
Yeah, sometimes
it's a telemarketer.
Yeah. I always put them on speaker just to be okay, like all right, and then click as soon as they come on because I'm not messing around. But yeah, so some of these numbers could be like a dispensary looking for me, to place an order, and I didn't have that number saved. So it really pisses me off. But I guess to that end, if you do call people, leave a message. That way they'll know you're not a telemarketer scam.
Do you do anything to mess with telemarketers?
I mean, not usually. Like, other than just like I'll pick it up and then leave it, and like walk out of the room, to waste their time, because I know that like telemarketers kind of have to get calls like on and off and as fast as they can. So
yeah,
I do that. Do you? Do you ever?
I mess with them a little bit, but I always feel kind of bad because it's a job, and they're doing the best they can.
Yeah,
it just happens to be a terrible job.
Well, but see, the thing is like, it's like a lot of them I feel are just like robocalls now. So you can't even mess with them. There's nobody to mess with.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess I do feel a little bad for people that's their job, their jorb. And they're taking our jorbs.
My jorbs. Take your jorbs.
But yeah, so in that regard, you're right. You have a very sensitive outlook on things. Because I was an a-hole.
But I will answer, and I'll do like a hello, like Christopher Walken or something, or some sort of bad impression.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah, this is Nugget. How are you?
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks for calling.
That's pretty cool. Like, I do hear people that like they'll pick up and they'll be like, F you, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
they're just doing a job.
Yeah. I mean, what do you get from that necessarily? Not really. You don't get much from cursing them out, but it is annoying, man. It is annoying. So, but if you were like going to call people and spam them with your products, what would it be?
Well, I just started a new endorsement.
You did?
So yeah. If I could plug it real quick.
Yeah. Plug it.
It's Rick's ass ointment.
Rick's ass ointment.
Ass ointment.
Now I regret telling you to plug it.
Did you think of that? Or did you have that? You had that written down or something? That's good. That's their new slogan, I think.
Yeah.
Rick's ass ointment. Plug it.
Plug it.
It was put the ointment on the ass.
It puts the ointment on the ass.
Yeah.
Nice. Does it work? What does it do?
I haven't used it.
Oh.
I'm just the spokesman. Okay. I get a cut. I get some billboards.
Right. I would assume though, like if you have dry ass or ass pimples, chafing, maybe it'd be good for that.
I would know. I mean, I don't use it.
Yeah. Right.
It's all hair down there. It's just a hair diaper. It's like, yeah.
This is a horror podcast, but that was horrible. That made me go to places I don't want to go. Nasty.
I get to look at it every day. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
Your nasty jungle of love.
My man fro.
Yeah. So the Rick's ass cream, and this is a real product, right? You got a website, you got a store. Is it like in kiosks at the mall?
No, it's just mostly he just sells it out of his house.
Oh, okay. So you're just going like door to door, or just plugging it on podcasts and radio, or? Yeah,
I'm just the spokesman.
Oh, okay.
And Rick does, he makes it. I don't know what, he makes it in his shed in his backyard. And I just push it. I'm just the spokesperson. I'm the face of Rick's ass cream.
Ass cream. Push it real good. I see. This is great because you can tell me these things. I just come up with marketing all day long for you.
You're an idea guy.
Yeah. This is all just for free. Well, like, what's funny is like, don't get it confused with Rick's ice cream. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you don't want to put that on your ass.
No.
Or do you?
Or if you're calling, you want to get Rick's ice cream for your kids and they send you a bunch of ass cream,
Yeah, that's made in a shed. Kids are going to be like, this is not ice cream. This is ointment from a shed.
Yeah. Kids, they know.
Kids.
Nothing gets by kids. But they are stupid because they were eating it.
Yeah.
Like
they took a
Pods.
couple bites before they even realized it.
Yeah. They're like, this is ass cream. Mom, I'm not going to eat your conformist ass cream.
It's a callback.
Yeah. Hopefully people are watching all the episodes. And if not, they can go get them all, at patreon.com/dopods. Which, maybe if people sign up for that, for the $1 a month membership for that, we'll include a can of Rick's ass cream.
Well, No, you got to buy it. There's no freebies.
Oh,
Rick's a strict guy. Rick says no giveaways.
You're on my that's my way of thinking. Like when I'm giving people, they're like, "Can I take samples?" I'm like, no, don't give those away like business cards.
You get the Sprinkle Fritz. What's it called?
Yeah, exactly. Just take them to CBD. All right, Nugget. So I want to talk before we get into all these movies and whatnot. I want to talk and make sure that everything's recording. Good. Okay. I want to make sure that, or I want to talk about John Lithgow on Dexter, because it was just our last show. We were talking about how Dexter's coming back, and then John Lithgow, we both loved that season. I think we were even saying like they should have ended after that season. Like,
yeah,
there were other good seasons, but if they wanted to go out like at the climax, that'd be the one to go on. So
season 4, that was the one. That was they should have ended it there.
Well, so for the new episode or the new season, I guess John Lithgow is returning. Which,
yes, he's coming.
I was very excited. Yeah.
Yeah, he was probably one of the best seasons and the best killer that he was pursuing. The bad, I guess you'd call him.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Dexter was, a serial killer, he was the biggest bad they had, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we talked about some of the others too, but I mean, John Lithgow, and we said this too, he's just able to be so creepy. Yes.
I was thinking about Cliffhanger. He's the bad guy. Raising Cain, Twilight Zone. He's really creepy in that remake of the,
Footloose. Wasn't he like a bad, like the angry preacher or whatever that wouldn't let anybody dance in Footloose, or am I thinking of somebody else? I don't.
In the original, yeah, I think so.
I can't watch Footloose. Just not a fan.
Why not?
Not a fan. I think I tried to watch it, and then I got to the scene where he's just dancing away in the warehouse all by himself, and I was like, I know Cameo would do that, but that ain't me.
Yeah, you got turned on.
Yeah,
it's okay.
You're right. I got a little, I got to turn this off. No, but
I'm feeling things.
Yeah. Like climbing the rope in gym class, right?
Do you remember the movie Ricochet with Denzel? He was a bad guy in that one too. That was pretty good too.
I don't remember that one. I feel like I've seen as many Denzel movies as I could possibly see, but I don't think I remember that one. But I mean, John Lithgow, of course, when I was young, the biggest movie he was in that I was a fan of was Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh yeah.
So that was my introduction. Then probably Third Rock, and then seeing all those movies, as I got older, and it's like, man. So, but here's the thing. So how is this going to work in this new season with John Lithgow returning?
Well, I think just like in the first 8 seasons, or 7 seasons, sorry, right? Yeah, 7 seasons. I think 7 seasons. Yeah. They had Dexter's dad was his kind of guide through all of it. He'd show up and give him advice and stuff, and you talk to him. Well, I think with Harrison being born in blood from the Trinity Killer, that the Trinity Killer could potentially be his guide.
Wow. So you think you think they're really going to dive into this Harrison as him being a killer too?
Yeah, or like Dexter's suspicion that he could be.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And so John Lithgow would be like his Obi-Wan.
Yeah. His Obi-Wan, but a bad, in a way that Dexter doesn't want him being guided by the Trinity Killer.
Right.
I guess Harrison never knew the Trinity Killer, so that wouldn't make any sense.
No, but I mean, I don't think that it would. I wouldn't say it doesn't make any sense. I like it. I like that theory. Because just because he doesn't know him doesn't mean, because I mean, he's in his head, but maybe he read about him, or who knows. But So I mean, because I mean, other than that, it'd be flashbacks, and I don't know if there'd be enough flashbacks to make it super interesting, but I mean, I guess maybe it'd be kind of cool if they just made one just about him.
Just about about John Lithgow.
Yeah.
Or if they did flashbacks, but the flashbacks were only to Third Rock from the Sun scene.
Yes.
It was like French Stewart doing the
face
and stuff.
French Stewart, man. He was funny, but like that, he didn't have a long career.
No, he was on top of the world for a little while.
Yeah, but then what's the kid's name? Like he's a pretty talented actor himself.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah. So, but that would be hilarious if they do flashbacks from Third Rock. So
it was Third Rock from the Sun. What did I say? 30 Rock. Yeah, Third Rock from the Sun.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about some movies. Why don't we? All right. So the first couple of movies, actually the ones that we're going to talk about this week, are not in theaters, because I was intending to go see The Forever Purge, but I haven't yet, and I haven't really heard anything about it. Kind of like Spiral, like I haven't heard anybody say, "Oh yeah, it's great" or "it's bad" or anything. So no news isn't necessarily great news.
Yeah, it kind of went under the radar. I barely saw any previews for it.
And then somebody said like the idea of a forever purge just doesn't. It defeats the whole purpose of the purge. So it's not as good of an idea. What do you think about that?
Well, the original Purge was like scary.
Yeah.
And then they just turned into like action movies.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right. I mean, and I liked them, I think I've seen all of them up until this latest one, but yeah, you're right. They did become more like action type movies. Another movie in theaters that's going to be soon, I'll mention it real quick, was, because I wanted to ask you about it. The Tournament of Champions escape room.
Oh yeah, I've seen the preview for that.
Have you seen the original movie?
Yeah, I did not like it.
Okay, so skip it.
Mostly because it was PG-13, I think maybe, and it seemed very like the escape room was very elaborate and over the top, and it just, I don't know.
What about this new movie? Really did you yeah, it is really cool. Did you get excited about this new one?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't really like it. I didn't like the original all that much.
I wonder, because I do want to watch that one, but I wonder if it's like a better version, if they're like, okay, let's make because it looks like it's pretty high budget.
Yeah, the first one was really high budget too.
I just never heard of it. I don't know how I missed the first one. Probably because it was like escape rooms. I don't know. I don't really. Have you done escape rooms?
I have, yeah.
Do you like it? Are they fun?
Yeah, I have fun. I most of the time I have a good time.
Do you, escape rooms, and then like what's the murder mystery dinners? Like, yeah. I would like to do that. I would like to do a murder mystery dinner. Have you done one of those?
I have.
The one up in Guthrie, or?
Yeah, the one in Guthrie. I've done that one.
Was it cool?
The cool part was whenever the host, after we did the whole murder mystery and all that noise, the host left and we just wandered the house. That was the best part.
That is pretty cool. Was that at the Stone
house
Lion?
Is supposedly haunted.
Yeah. The Stone Lion Inn? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Like, I don't know. What'd you say?
We were told not to, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Like, yeah, I get you. And then the escape rooms, like, have you done any, like, do you have any recommendations, or just, go look some up?
Okay. They open and close so quickly. I don't even know the ones that I've done, if they're still there. There's the one on 23rd Street that's been around for forever. Mm-hmm. There's one on Memorial that I've done that's pretty fun. I think the one on 23rd Street I've done it a couple times and it's fun. But now they're like in malls and stuff now. Like, they're everywhere.
So I did hear one that I would like to try for sure. It was a Friday the 13th escape room, like out in the cabins and stuff. That'd be pretty dope, I think.
Yeah. Have you heard about the house, the haunted house that's like if you stay there if you get through the whole haunted house, you win money?
I've always heard of such a thing, but like I've never actually been to one, because I think like I could definitely go through a whole whatever it was.
It's like, but they like torture you.
And like, but what way?
Like drown you and.
Oh, they do. So that's what I was going to say. Like, you've seen those where like you pay somebody, somebody to come like kidnap you, and then they do like I wouldn't be into that. That wouldn't be fun. But like if it was like a cool haunted house that was, like, because I remember back in the day they had those, like it's so scary. If you make it through the whole thing, you get your money back. And I'm like, I bet it's not that scary. But if they're torturing you,
how are they hiring the people to do this? Like,
dude, there's so many people out there that are like, oh, I'll torture someone. Just give me a chance.
Put it on their LinkedIn profile. Like, yeah,
I've been cooped up in this pandemic. I can't wait. So, but yeah, if they're torturing you, that doesn't sound so good. But that was another movie I was kind of thinking that might be interesting. So I'll maybe mark it off the list until it comes out on Amazon Prime. But like I said, the few movies here that we can talk about that are streaming, I'll start with the one I liked the most, which was Fear Street, 1994, I believe.
1994, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure, and I think people have pointed it out, like the music is a little bit not. I love the soundtrack, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
But like they were saying, like, because I didn't go back to look, but like Rob Zombie and some of that was the White Zombie song was not like it came out a little later and stuff like that.
It's like they went through my high school CD collection, like where you had the racks and stuff.
Yeah.
Just pulled out all my CDs. But I noticed that, like, watching it, it's like, wait, Garbage didn't come out till 1995 or 96 or something like that. I'm just a snob when it comes to that stuff. Like, that's not accurate.
I am a snob about it, but I still enjoyed it just because I was like, that's a soundtrack to like my high school years. So, everybody kind of has
it started out with Closer, and I was like, oh, yeah. And it just kept getting better, like with every song. I was like, oh, yeah, this is great.
Yeah, I think they played Bush, Everything's In, which I was thinking that was the one that they played in that movie with Mark Wahlberg, Fear. But it wasn't. It was Come Down, wasn't it?
Was it?
Do you remember that?
I haven't seen Fear in a long time.
Me either, but I think I saw that at the theater, and when it came out, and I hadn't seen.
That's the movie that has wild horses playing, right? When they're on the Ferris wheel. And
I thought it was. I thought that it was Bush on the Ferris wheel that they were playing, but I could be wrong. But yeah, that's the scene I was talking about. Was Mark Wahlberg and who was? Oh man, I can't remember. Reese Witherspoon or Alicia Silverstone. I can't remember.
It was Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah. I haven't seen like I honestly probably haven't seen that since it was in the theater. But yeah, so back to Fear, 1994, and it's funny. My wife, she was like, you can tell that they're really catering it to people your age, and I was like, yeah, because did you read any of the Fear Street books?
I didn't.
So, like, one thing I noticed, though, was, like, it doesn't say Fear Street R.L. Stine. It doesn't say R.L. Stine anywhere that I could see. And he was the guy who wrote Fear Street books and then went on to do Goosebumps. And, like, Goosebumps was, like, more of a, for younger kids. By the time that, by the time it came out, I was a little too old for Goosebumps. Like, and then, so I haven't really even seen those movies. But somebody said that this Fear Street movie was, like, an adult version of Goosebumps, and I thought that was funny. But so the Fear Street books, though, like if this isn't directly tied to it, it is still definitely kind of paying homage to it, because like there's a middle sequence of that where it seems like it's straight out the CW, like a whole, it's just a high school drama, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's very, that was like I told my wife, because she hasn't read any of them either. They were like a mix of like those Sweet Valley High books meets Hardy Boys meets, something scary that, you could throw in there, like Stephen King, but, but at the beginning of the movie, they did have the Fear Street book and that she was buying, remember? And
I noticed that the author was RL.
Oh, it was on there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I missed that part, but I was going to say, because it was in the font, so it's definitely tied to those, But that is like the kind of typical Fear Street. It's got like that cheesy teen drama, but it always has like some cool, stuff. But then it's it's kind of formulaic. This one I'm excited to see because there's 2 more movies. The next one I think takes place in the 70s. But
so didn't watch it?
No, I did watch it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because then the next one that takes place in the 70s comes out in like 2 weeks, or I think they all come out in the period. The next 2 come out in a period of a few weeks after the next. So
how do you think they're going to work backwards? Like, I mean, they're going to have to.
So here's the thing about Fear Street. Like it was this town, and there was all this bad stuff that happened a long time ago. But the Fear family and all this. So I think that it's just going to keep showing, like, almost like It, where it showed him, in the 70s, and then when he came back, it's this. I think it's going to basically show different eras of like where the Fear Street curse, or the kind of, and it's kind of it's one of those things where all these stories are loosely tied together because it takes place in this little town, and like I say, there's kind of like a curse. So it's not like It, where there's a monster that comes every 20 years or whatever, but it's just the curse of that town. So
Shady Side, Ohio.
Yeah. Was it in Ohio?
Yeah.
So I think that's what they're going to do, but it could be tied to somebody we've seen in the first movie, I'm sure. Like when that person went to camp, and because I hear it's going to be kind of Friday the 13th ish. But I guess if you do anything in the 70s at a camp, it's got to be like compared to Friday the 13th, right?
Yeah, like slasher.
Yeah. This movie I would compare to Scream, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was going to say the same thing. Like Woodsboro, it's the same. Like even the opening sequence with Maya Hawke.
Yeah.
Like they killed off the biggest actress in the movie in the first 5 minutes, just like Drew Barrymore in Scream. Like in the same with how he tackles her, same scene as Scream.
Yeah. And then there was like they call? And I was like, oh man, if he says I want to play a game with you or whatever, they're just totally ripping off Scream. But I think it was definitely an influence. But I think that they, again, since it takes place in the 90s, that's them paying homage to Scream, because Scream was huge.
Yeah. Did you like the bread slicer scene?
Oh my God, yes. I mean,
it was awesome.
The thing about, so when I say that there's that cheesy kind of teenage drama in this movie, they make up for it with some brutal kills.
Yes.
Right? I mean,
yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, like some that I didn't expect at all. That I was like, whoa, that is awesome.
Yeah, with some lead characters too. It's just like bam, bam, they're gone.
Yeah, yeah. So, and that's the thing. I like, it could one of those characters, like, some of them we've seen like pretty bad got killed, but you might see, knowing Fear Street, you might see somebody come back. Like it'd be like, they tricked you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, because that's kind of the Fear Street MO. But yeah, that does, like, I don't know, because back to what I was saying at the beginning about it being tied to R.L. Stine, I think that he might have like not had it say R.L. Stine Fear Street for this, because there is, the sex, there's the killing, like brutal killing and all that. So his books were still for kids. That I was in the 6th grade reading the Fear Street, so they definitely made it an adult version. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that is. I thought it was funny because that's my wife was like, they're totally catering to you, like your age people who did read those books and all that.
So this isn't anything. It's not really like the books. I've never read them. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't remember if it was taken right out of a book, as much as I think it's just very similar to, because like I say, the books themselves have like kind of a pattern or a blueprint. Probably how he wrote like 100 of them a year or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just kind of plug and play. But I mean, like I said, the stories were pretty cool. I liked them as a youngster. I did hear one on because they're bringing them back. Actually, they're bringing back the Fear Street. He's writing new ones, and I listened to one on Audible, and I was like, oh, I don't know if these books were as good as I remember them. But you know how it is when you're a kid, you're just easily impressed.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But the movie I thought was really good. I suggest anybody who's into horror movies watch it.
And it's fun. It's
fun.
Yeah, it doesn't take itself seriously.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
I really enjoyed it. I want to watch it again, actually. Because I watched it during the day, and I was like, I need to watch it at night, like, you know, because it's a darker movie anyway. So, just watching it, and I'll probably pick up some more of that stuff that you noticed. But I just thought it was a good, fun movie. It's free on Netflix, and again, when I heard Fear Street, I was like, the kid in me was like, yay, you know. So.
Yeah. It's like the way I was with Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. When that movie came out and it was Guillermo del Toro had its blessing, I was like, oh, yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah. So that one is on Netflix. Again, there's 2 more movies coming out, and like I said, I think they're all coming out pretty shortly. So the next one is False Positive, and that one is on Hulu. And I watched it because I heard that it was kind of like a Rosemary's Baby. And it's got, what is the name of the actress who's in it? She's in Broad City.
Lana Glazer.
So yeah, she was in Broad City. I love that show. I thought she was so funny in that. Like, did you watch that show?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, I'm a fan of her.
Yeah, like A, she's hot, but B, she's hilarious, and C, maybe hilarious should come before hot if I was being a good guy. But anyway, but like, do you remember the Blake Griffin episode where she like is going back to like, you know, get it on with Blake Griffin, and she sees him nude, and she's like, I cannot receive you. That cracked me up the way she said that. I cannot receive you. But this movie, not a drop of humor.
No.
It wasn't a funny movie. I didn't even like, I guess, I'm not certain that I would compare it to Rosemary's Baby so much. Like, I guess you could see where the comparison is, but I didn't enjoy this movie as much. I don't even know that I enjoyed it, really, to be honest. What'd you think
even
about
like
it?
Even Justin Theroux's character being Adrian, like Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, congrats to Alana Glazer on, I mean, she pulled an Adam Sandler and got like a way hotter spouse.
Yeah. That's funny.
Like Adam Sandler does it all the time. So of course, yeah, if you're Alana Glazer, you get Justin Theroux.
Yeah.
And then your next movie, you get Brad Pitt, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, so I thought the movie, there was parts that I thought like was interesting in this story, but I thought it like was just kind of like too slow. Like I don't mind slow movies, but for this movie, it was just too slow to get to like the real good stuff of it. What I mean,
well, how about that Pierce Brosnan scene with Justin Theroux though? How about that?
Yeah, that was crazy. Because yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. And if you're 007, you're on the receiving end of that, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, I'll do the movie, but
yeah, right.
I'm
not going to be the one on my knees. Yeah. Like I said, there was interesting parts. Overall, I just didn't think it was very exciting. And not every movie has to be exciting or whatever. I've enjoyed a lot of dramas that were slow and blah, blah, blah. But for this one, I don't know. I'd give it a C if I was going to give it a grade. Like if I was going to give Fear Street a grade, I'd give it like a B+, and I'd give False Positive a C.
What do you think about that ending?
I like the ending.
You did?
Yeah.
It didn't make you like, it leave you a little confused?
No. Well, those kinds of endings kind of like is what I like. You know what I mean? I like that kind of ending sometimes.
It kind of reminded me of there was a real news story about a doctor. It was Dr. Quincy Fortier. He is a doctor, a real fertility doctor that did this. And
oh, really?
Had over like 1,000 babies.
Wow. Really?
He would be the specimen.
Yeah. That's interesting.
So he fathered all these children. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of based on that story too.
I mean, I thought the ending was, it was such a weird ending that I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's nasty. but yeah, it was, if you can get to the end, I think it paid off, but it's just kind of like a slow burn, a real slow burn. And that, like I say, that one is on Hulu and it's available now for those of you who listened to our review and was like, I got to see this.
Yeah. If you want to see Pierce Brosnan get a blowjay from Justin Theroux.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to see that.
Who hasn't had that daydream?
Okay. The last movie is not, free. I think it's on Amazon to rent. Unholy. And that's got, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So, like, when I saw the preview, I watched the preview of it. I didn't watch the movie because you told me not to, but I watched the preview of it and I was like, ooh, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, that's a plus. And he remember he was in like another kind of possession movie where there was like
it's
a box.
Possession. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was there was a gin and a box. Yeah. He was in a movie 7 years ago.
I thought that movie was okay. Actually. I like that one. Did you like that one?
Yeah, I like that one.
That one was okay. But this one, from the preview, see, demon movies are the only ones that I kind of like. They're the only ones that kind of spook me for whatever reason. But then they don't because it's like there's nothing new about them anymore. You see what I mean? Like they're all almost the same story. But this one looked like there was like a lot of action and cool visuals and stuff and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So what was there anything that really just stood out that made you not like it?
Oh yeah. I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Carrie Ells in it too. And William Sadler, who's awesome. Bill and Ted, Death. You have sank my battleship. I love William Sadler. Anyway, so like a great cast, but it was I think everything all the action that you saw was in the trailer because it's pretty boring.
Yeah.
Basically, this deaf mute girl starts seeing visions of Mary.
Right.
And this whole community kind of grows around her.
And then that is kind of the difference, I guess, between the typical, and I'm sorry for cutting you off. No. But like the typical demon possession movie, because like this one's like Mary is the kind of like the one possessing, right? Or no?
But the twist is it's not Mary. It's another Mary, a demon Mary.
Yeah, right.
Which, it's false advertising, but
yeah.
I could tell you I sing like Cher, but
yeah,
I could mean my neighbor Cher.
Which, that is a little bit more interesting only because like, for people who believe in demons and demonology and all that, they do kind of say that they will appear to you as a ghost of somebody, you love or somebody you would trust or whatever. I personally don't believe in demons, but demon movies still scare me. I don't know why.
Yeah, I didn't really. The effects were terrible too.
Were they?
Like a Sharknado kind of, like a minus the Ian's earring. Just like the effects just seemed a little rushed.
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Then so just overall, not a great story. Bad special effects. Kind of made it cheap looking. Well, I mean, sometimes when these movies are like direct to video, it makes you kind of like, ooh, I don't know about that. There is a movie coming back that's coming to, I don't know if I think it's going to be on HBO Max soon, but I saw it last year. It's called Freaky with Vince Vaughn. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I love Freaky.
I liked it too. That one was great. Like, there's like movies. What was the one that I believe James Gunn did? Sliver. Which is, it's funny because I think me and you saw that at the theater, right?
Did we?
I think so when it came out because I just thought it was hilarious and also it's creepy. And I'm trying to, is it Michael Booker or Rooker? Rooker.
Yeah.
Like he was in it, and then of course he's in all of James Gunn's movies now, like Guardians and all that, and then he was in Walking Dead. But I really like that one. So like these horror movies that have a little bit of comedy, it make it like a real good time, on top of like some cool, like, cause I don't know, like gory death scenes to me, like they're, I don't think they're scary. I think they're usually like, I know this is going to sound crazy, but they're fun for me. They're just fun. Like, so yeah, that's kind of like, I like the ones that have a little bit of comedy. So
yeah, it's fun to see the creative ways that these writers can come up with ways to slash people, to kill them.
yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. I do enjoy that. And so like Freaky, it'll be on HBO Max pretty soon. So I recommend people watch that too with Vince Vaughn. It's the Freaky Friday, or vice versa. I think with Fred Savage, it's like those kind of stories, but it's a girl who trades places with a serial killer. Bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been done at like Father Like Son. There's a million movies like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they swap places.
Yeah. But I enjoyed that one in this. Like, and there's been movies. Nicolas Cage put out the one with the puppet where he doesn't, or the puppets like at Showbiz. Did you see that one?
Willy's World?
Yeah. Did you see that one?
Yes, I did. It was terrible.
I loved it. I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. I'm sorry, I did. It was terrible.
In your own supply.
It was terrible. Yeah. Yeah, that's the way to watch it. It's terrible, but I think it's supposed to be, which makes it funny. And like,
he didn't say a word of dialogue the entire movie.
I think that they like last second were like, could you please help us and do this movie? He's like, I don't have time to learn the lines. They're like, don't worry, you don't have to say anything.
Yeah, just mop some floors.
Yeah, but didn't he produce this
robots.
movie? I don't know, but I thought that one was funny too. So, but yeah, terrible but funny. All right, so let's talk about a trailer that just recently came out. It's a movie we talked about not too long ago on an episode, Halloween Kills. And what's really funny is when I have reviewed Halloween Kills, I had said that it didn't have enough balls. No, not Halloween Kills, the last Halloween. It didn't have enough balls, because a lot of things like the whole where he escapes and kills the people on the bus, it was all done off screen. And I'm like, why? Why wouldn't you show that? You know what I mean? Like that could have been a really cool, like almost like that, the Darth Vader scene from Rogue Squadron, or like, some of those scenes like where you see people kicking ass in the hallways. Like you could have seen Michael Myers going through the bus, just like, ripping people up and stuff. But they did it off screen, and I was like, no balls. And there were some cool kills in that movie too. But
the window one where the woman's looking out the window and he's with the I love that one.
Yeah. But I just felt like there wasn't enough for what I would want like a Halloween movie to be, especially in, now, because we've seen so many iterations of it. We've seen really brutal versions of it from Rob Zombie. So I want you to keep the brutalness of Rob Zombie. And then because I liked the Rob Zombie movies, but they were his thing. So, but I still want to see that kind of brutalness with Michael Myers. And so watching this Halloween Kills trailer, this one seems to be like, exactly what I want.
Yeah.
And everybody was
like,
yeah. Everybody like on Twitter and stuff was like, you showed every kill in the movie. And they're like, no, we didn't. And I was like, oh, it's going to be so good.
Yeah, it does seem like a much larger body count in this one.
And the trailer, my gosh, it is like the kills that they show in that are like, wow. Like the trailer, I'll watch the trailer over and over.
He's got the firefighter's chainsaw. It was like, or I guess it's not a chainsaw, but yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, don't give him that.
Yes. What is that called? Like the Jaws of Life or something?
Yeah, whatever. It's the
Jaws of Death. But yeah, Michael Myers does not support his local firefighters. But yeah, like, oh my gosh, yeah. And even that, like, because that was right off the bat, like, they don't really, firefighters are good guys, like nobody ever kills firefighters in movies, You didn't hear him say thank you for your service before he did it? No, I did not. But that would be awesome.
It's a rare time that Michael talks, but he was like, thank you for your service.
I like it. Wouldn't you, though, if you saw Michael coming, I'd grab the fire hose and be like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't just be standing around watching him kill my partners and then get killed myself.
Did you notice all the Easter eggs? Obviously, the season of the witch.
Yes,
is a big
that
one.
was awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then him kind of leaving the hospital.
Yes.
Throwback to part 2.
Yes. Which
and then the fire scene with all the fire around him, that was like a throwback to, I think, 2 also.
Mm-hmm.
So I think so it was cool.
The hospital scene, the hospital scene in 2 and in the second one that Rob Zombie did, both of those were great. Loved both of those. So I think this movie is gonna kill it, as it's called Halloween Kills. So, I'm excited, like super excited about this one. And it comes out in October, but
what is the deal with slasher movies and the one like eccentric like black cop detective with the cowboy hat on? It's in like almost every. I don't understand what is that about.
I don't know either.
This show, he was in like Jason Goes to Hell. There's one, and it's like they show up all the time. Like, what is it? Why does he have to have a cowboy hat on? Can he?
Yeah, it's funny because oh man, I can't think of his name, but he's an actor everybody would know. But like, he's in Fargo in a season of Fargo, and he wears a cowboy hat, and you're like. But it's like, okay, he's different, he's different than everybody else. But then if they, if in every movie or show they do that, then it's not that different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, what is, I wish his name is on the tip of my tongue, but I'll probably remember it after the show. But anyway, we're kind of showing the video of Halloween Kills on the show as people were watching this, but definitely go and watch was there a Red Band trailer? Or was it?
I don't know. The one I watched had tons of kills in it.
Oh,
so
yeah. It was. Yeah. So, yeah, go watch that because it looks amazing. I can't wait for that one.
It looks like the people, and it's more about the people of Haddonfield kind of coming together to get revenge, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of.
Pretty interesting.
Who was the killer, the serial killer that the people caught, like in California? Man, I can't remember his name now, but there was like did you watch the show on Netflix about the hotel in
the Cecil Hotel?
He was the one that was living there for a little while. And then like he had went to some neighborhood and like all these, it was like a Hispanic neighborhood or Latino neighborhood. And like they saw him and they're like, get him. And I think it was Richard Ramirez or what was he? The night crawler or I can't remember. Anyway.
Night Stalker.
So, yeah, kind of like that. The people of Haddonfield are like, get him.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, like, I feel like they're positioning Michael Myers. They're kind of giving us this idea of like, okay, why does he keep living through every death, And of course, this one is supposed to take place, I think, after this. This is supposed to be like the 4th movie now. Like there was the first 2, then there was this last one and this one. But, so, you've seen him die and you're like, what? How does he keep coming back? I think that I think I've mentioned to you that some people believe he's a cyborg of some sort, or he was replaced by a cyborg, or there was some kind of like, I'll have to look it up again, and we'll talk about it more like when the movie comes out, but like based off of some stuff that happened in Season of the Witch, people believe that Michael Myers like becomes, he was human, but now he's otherworldly or paranormal or whatever,
Is that with the ones that like had Paul Rudd and all that stuff and Daniel Harris? Is that the ones after 2 or 3?
No, yeah, no. They act like those never happened, but maybe they're basing the whole, android. Yeah. So they're saying after those couple movies, after 3, he was a cyborg of some sort or whatnot. Now we know that's not true necessarily in the Rob Zombie movies because he takes off his mask in the second one, and
it looks like he gets unmasked in this one too.
It does. It actually does. Which the thing in the second one, I don't love to see Michael Myers unmasked.
Yeah, that was Tyler Mane.
Like he's like the Joker to me. Like if you normalize the Joker, then he's not as mysterious and, all that. Like the fact that you never see Michael Myers' face, that makes him more spooky to me. But if you see his face, then you're going to humanize him. And I know that Rob Zombie wanted to humanize him a little bit in that movie, like kind of make, you know, remember how like he'd make him grunt and stuff when he killed, and like you never heard that before. And but yeah, so do you buy into the cyborg, or that he's, you know, he did die and somehow now he is, you know, resurrected or paranormally resurrected, or however you would put that?
I don't. I hope not.
So what it sounds like with this movie, though, is every time he kills, she said he becomes like more, he gets more of that essence of evil, so that now he is the essence of evil. And every time he kills, he gets stronger.
Okay.
So I'm curious how that's going to play out in this movie. You see what I mean? Because that seems like they're kind of going to show us how he's so unstoppable.
So like, do you remember the fourth and I don't know how many, 4 through 6, whatever they were, where they had the secret society that was kind of who created Michael?
No, I remember those movies. I watched them, but no, I don't remember that. Is that like so
kind of a similar thing where they are kind of not, you know, they're basically helping him along as he, I don't know, whatever he's doing, controlling the population.
Nice. We need
Did you notice though, Anthony Michael Hall as Tommy Doyle?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's Tommy Doyle, the little kid from the first one.
Oh, that is cool. I thought was he in the first one, or is he just playing?
No.
Okay.
He's playing a grown-up version of Tommy Doyle.
That's cool, though.
Just like Paul Rudd did in, I think, like 6 or something.
Yeah. Because was Paul Rudd in the one, like, where the little girl, too? Like, wasn't she, like, Michael's cousin or something? Or I don't remember.
Danielle Harris, yeah. His niece, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I need to watch them, I guess. I need to go back and watch them because, you know, it's like I kind of got in the habit now where 1 and 2 are my favorites, and I don't really watch any of the others, you know. But I should go back and kind of see what they did with those stories. But, you know, like once I remember those movies. And then, of course, I remember like the H2O, which I enjoyed that one. I liked that one. And then there was the one after that with Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
And that one was terrible. And I was kind of like jealous because there's a kid that is from Choctaw, Ryan Merriman, that was in that movie. Yeah. Like I went to school with his sister. Like I knew his sister pretty well. And so I was like, man, this dude gets to be in a Halloween movie. And then I watched it and I was like, the worst Halloween movie. Oh God.
Yeah. Busta Rhymes karate kicks Michael Myers. It's terrible. You know, it's weird that like Jamie Lee Curtis is, you know, said that she doesn't support the other movies. Meanwhile, she was in 1 and 2 and then H2O and Resurrection. Like she was in a lot of these. Like she's still getting paid.
Yeah, yeah. It's easy to say now. But yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one big time. All right. It is time for our last segment here. This is Deep Cuts, which basically is our recommendations of movies that are either older movies or just movies that people may have passed over, you know, didn't get, like kind of like how I'd never heard of Escape Room, you know. And so for this one, I'm going to go off of something I saw on Twitter, okay? And we're going to talk about the movie, but we're going to talk about the one that people thought it was first. So there was a tweet by Stephen King that was like, what is the worst horror movie you've ever seen, right? And he said for him, it was Blood Feast. Well, just like everybody else, though, like I messed it up too. Like I was like, Bloodfest? I've never seen Bloodfest. And so I look it up and I think I even asked you about it. And you were like, hey, it wasn't a bad movie. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, what's the deal? So I go look at his tweet again and he's like, no, guys, I'm saying Blood Feast, you know, which is a movie from the 70s. So we're going to talk about that. But before we do, I want to talk about Bloodfest for just a minute because I watched it on Amazon Prime. It's free because you told me you liked it. And I watched it 2 or 3 times this last week. I really liked it. Right? I really liked it. I did not expect to love it like as much as I did, but it's like there's like different genres of horror movie in it. Ned from Spider-Man is awesome. I love him. I think he needs to be
Jacob Batalon. Is that his name?
I don't know.
Yeah.
God, that's
Jacob
terrible.
Batalon.
But yeah, I mean, he needs to be in more movies. He was awesome. And then, yeah, it was just a good movie. Like it was shot well. It didn't look cheesy. And it was fun. Now the ending, or, the twist, I was kind of like, but it wasn't like, it wasn't that bad. It didn't ruin the movie by any means for me. I just thought that maybe was like the weakest point of the movie. But other than that, I like really enjoyed that movie. When did you see that?
A long time ago. Like I should have probably rewatched it before we talked about it. But yeah, I remember a lot of cameos in there.
Zach,
I think isn't Tate Donovan the bad guy? His dad.
Yeah. Is that his name? Tate Donovan, the older guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then is it Levi or Levi? Which is bad because I talk about Shazam every now and again, but is it Zach Levi or Levi?
Whatever you want to, you can call him whatever you want.
Yeah, people do, right? So we're calling Zach Levi.
We call him
Levi.
Chuck.
Yeah, he wasn't.
I just
Chuck,
call him
right?
Chuck.
Yeah. Well, he has a cameo. I loved his little cameo, and it was just a good fun movie. So Bloodfest, don't take anybody else's word for it. Take ours. It's a good fun movie. You should watch it, and you can watch it for free right now on Amazon Prime.
Well, you got to pay for it or steal your password, but yeah.
Oh yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, it's free. But okay, but what we were gonna do, because Blood Feast is a movie from the 70s, right? And that is the one that Stephen King said was the worst horror movie. So if you want, you can get on there. Oh no, it's from the 60s, 1963. Okay. So you can get on there and there's trailers, and I believe there's even the full movie on YouTube, okay, if you want to watch the full movie. Now, what we're watching is the best of Blood Feast. It's Gory Bits, looks like it's the channel. It's 7 minutes and 14 seconds for anybody who wants to watch along or watch on their YouTube later on. The best of Blood Feast. So I felt like me and you kind of talked about maybe doing some watch-alongs, so I thought this would be a good setup, a good preview for what that would look like. And we're gonna watch the 7 minute best of and see if we can kind of glean. Like I haven't even watched any of it yet. I wanted to do it for the first time right here. Did you watch it? Did you pre-watch it?
I watched a little bit of it, but I had the volume down.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, here we go.
Let's do it.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Gory Bits presents an old school radio. Legs. She's getting in the bathtub.
Ancient Weird Religious Rites.
Yeah.
It's an oddly specific title.
Oh, our first death.
Ooh. Got a fruit roll up.
Entrails. That looks I know this is from the 60s, but that looks cheap. And his eyebrows and his hair look cheap too.
Oh, Calgon, take me to hell.
He just chopped her leg off. That's funny.
Worst Tilex ad ever.
Okay, so now it's just her in the tub. Blood Feast.
Blood Feast.
They got a cool little thing. It looks like our conformist peach cobbler at the beginning of our show.
They got a couple detectives here. Got a cucumber on his desk.
That's to keep the cats away.
He's got a terrible hairline.
Yeah. This is the best of. Too.
Oh!
That guy
eyebrows.
is creepy looking. Yeah, look at those eyebrows. And his hair is obviously dyed or colored gray. Oh. I have a hat kind of like that.
Okay, now he's at some sort of shrine.
Oh yeah. So like, I'm guessing with the blood feast as the title, he's cutting off these, her leg to eat, right? So is he going to sacrifice it to this god, or is he going to eat it, or both? That's what I need to know.
I guess we'll just have to find out
on the next episode of Conformist Pete. No, we're going to find out right now.
Oh no!
Murder.
She's got so much time to get away.
Are they on the beach?
It looks like it.
I think the best beach murder scene still is from The Lost Boys, where like they pull him out of that car while they're like,
he's putting some innards in a bag.
I don't know. Does this movie look like it's the worst movie ever though? I don't think so. I mean, I know we're not getting like a true.
Oh, he put the knife in the bag. You're going to cut a hole in the bag and all your entrails are going to fall out of the bottom. It's just, soup's on.
Soup's on. Like that, the special effects, of course, are cheap, but this is the 60s. You know what I mean? It might be impossible to tell how bad the movie is off of 7 minutes. Like 7 minutes might make it look like a really good movie. You know what I mean?
Is it a little home invasion? Oh
no.
Yeah. She must have something in her teeth.
Oh, okay. Is he going to pull out her tongue?
Worst dentist ever.
Yep. Ew. That is nasty. Have you ever eaten tongue?
No.
Like cow tongue or?
Oh.
That's creepy. That's horrible.
Yeah, the Jello spilling on Jello pudding. This is the Bill Cosby origin story.
I have not eaten any kind of tongue, though, to answer your question. I think that sounds disgusting.
Because they serve cow tongue pretty much all over Oklahoma, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you can get it.
Oh, she's got a knife in her.
All the dead people have their eyes open in this movie. Have you seen that?
That's how you die dramatically.
That's the creepiest way.
He pulled a chicken cutlet out of her. Looks like it's covered in some sort of strawberry jam or something.
Yeah, it is like not the deep blood red color.
Ma'am, do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior? Oh. Knocked her out.
Yep. Knocked her out cold. All right, here we go. Looks like
finally
the big sacrifice. And
use your safe word.
Yeah.
Artichoke.
Artichoke's a terrible safe word. What?
Did you say choke?
Yeah, okay.
She's just worn out.
Did they just put like a little red paint on the rope and then it
Absolutely.
That's funny. Ew. Where's that blood coming from?
Got the detectives looking at the mutilated corpse. Oh, side boob.
Yeah. I mean, lots of gore in this movie.
Yeah, it's super cheesy. Put your hat on right, sir. Be professional. It's like gonna fall off any second.
Oh, yeah, like this. This hat, I just got it in the mail today. It's coming in. It's like working wonders for the show.
It's already useful. Oh,
cut you.
I thought she was an onion.
That's all that you had to do to save him? What a weenie.
Hey, stop. Worst getaway ever.
Okay, now I'm understanding why this has been called the worst movie, because the dude just escaped in a garbage truck.
And he's getting smooshed.
Oh, no. Is that the ending? Please tell me that's not the ending.
Yeah, spoiler alert. He gets smooshed.
Smooshed. Oh, Lord.
Oh, no. Some guy from the Jersey Shore. He's going to get all the cred for killing this guy. Mama said I never amount to nothing. Look at me now.
I don't know what they're saying because I got the thing turned down, but that looks so stupid. Like he gets, caught in there, and then they're just like, "Hey, hey." Just talking about it, like, man, that sucks.
They're probably like, you did the world a favor.
Yeah. Who is that guy?
Starring Eyebrows.
Yeah. Man. All right, so it looks like if you are, sometimes I'm a fan of cheesy movies, though, right? Like cheesy, but like the special effects look like this movie cost all of about $50 back then.
Yeah. Well, and I kind of agree with most things that Stephen King says, so I would,
I would probably agree. So I might not ever watch Blood Feast. That might be the only part that any of us or the people watching along with us ever see. But that 7 minutes, it was all right.
Yeah.
It didn't make me want to watch the movie. I'm glad I saw what I saw.
Yeah. You get the idea.
Yeah.
You get smooshed at the end.
Yeah. Which is... I still hate that ending. Not even loving this movie at all. I hate that ending. So, but Stephen King, if he says Blood Feast is the worst horror movie. Now, do you have anything, I didn't really tell you to make a list or anything, but is there anything off the top of your head that is like the worst horror movie? Because I think I would probably go with House 2.
Oh, yeah. The House movies are bad.
Because I loved the first House movie, though.
Yeah.
I loved it. And then the second one was like Jim Henson meets House. Like, they had like puppets and stuff. And I was like, no, that's not good. And then Salem's Lot 2 was also horrible. I remember me and my mom, like, we loved Salem's Lot. Watched that movie over and over and over and over as a kid. And then found out there was a sequel and rented that. And like halfway through, we were like... Because it was made in the 80s, and somebody goes back to Salem's Lot, and there's still vampires, but the vampires eat cows now because they don't want to get AIDS.
What was that again?
The undead vampires, immortal, only eat cows because they don't want to get AIDS. Yes. So... I think me and my mom turned that off about halfway through and was like, nah. So those are probably like on my list maybe as the top two right off my head. Because the thing is, like, I'm not going to watch a horrible horror movie, If it's that bad, I'm going to turn it off probably 30, 45 minutes into it. I'll give it a little bit.
Yeah. You can watch most of it.
Yeah. But what do you think? Any that come off the top of your head?
Well, obviously the most quotable one is Troll 2.
Oh yeah.
Trolls 2 is terrible. And then like Leprechaun in the Hood.
Right.
Those are brutal.
But are they brutal in a fun way, or are they like, I hated that, I did not want to watch that? You see what I mean? Because I think that there's some movies that are so bad they're fun. Like I said with that Nick Cage movie.
Yeah. Well, like the Chucky movies after they, like Seed of Chucky and Bride of Chucky, they were just fun.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, I can't think of too many others that are just that like horrible. I mean, there's a lot of bad ones. I just don't watch them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Hey, so before we get out of here, we could talk about, we've been kind of the theme has been movies that have a little humor to it and are horror. One of my favorite ones is Shaun of the Dead. Like, that movie is classic. It's hilarious. They do the zombies real good and all that. The director of that movie, because I thought Simon Pegg was like the director for some reason, but he's not. But the director for that movie is making
Edgar Wright.
Huh?
Edgar Wright.
Oh yeah, he's returning. He's to horror. He's going to make another horror movie. So
yeah, Last Night in Soho, right?
Yeah. Yep. And I think that comes out pretty soon, right?
Well, yeah, it looks really good. It looks more like a mystery thriller type thing, but I think it looks great.
So I want to see that one. I don't think, but it doesn't have like the comedy aspect of Shaun of the Dead, but I still think it's going to be great. Shaun of the Dead, the best scene to me is like when when they're killing zombies and they're doing it to the Queen song.
Yeah, Don't Stop Me Now.
Yeah, that was great. So yeah, and then another movie that's coming out soon that I don't think we talked about yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Old.
Yes, M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, his movies are hit and miss for me. His horror movies, I usually kind of like them at least. But like
another one that's so bad it's good is The Happening.
The Happening. That was disappointing. I liked the movie until the end, I feel like. But Old might be one of those movies. I'm not sure. You know what was a really good one? Huh?
Did you like Lady in the Water?
Lady in the Water was okay. One that I really loved more than I thought I would was the one with the grandparents.
The Visit?
Yeah. I really like that one.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. And of course I like The Village and, Sixth Sense. But so it's like, man, I don't know, because he makes really great ones. But this one looks pretty interesting, and it looks like it's got like a lot going on, more than just what's kind of on the surface. So that one's coming out soon. I'm excited. Anything else that you're excited about that's coming out?
I am really excited about Old. I like Alex Wolff from Hereditary. Mm-hmm. I like him a lot. I've liked Jumanji. I like everything he's done. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to Halloween Kills, and then obviously Halloween Ends in 2022. Until they reboot it again in 3 or 4 years.
So I got one more question for you before we get out of here. This is a movie I think it's available now, actually, that you can rent it. Have you seen Werewolves Within? Is that the name of the movie?
I've never seen that.
Okay, so I've been hearing a lot about it, and it's supposed to be really good. So I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm gonna watch that before our next show. So I would encourage you to, if you get the chance. It's called Werewolves Within. It's like an indie movie, but it's available now on Amazon Prime at least to rent, and it looks really good. So
there's another one called Where that's kind of a modern werewolf movie that's pretty good too. I think it's on Prime also.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing that one. I like werewolf movies. You don't get a whole lot of great ones. I think the last good werewolf movie was the one with Benicio del Toro and Anthony Hopkins.
Wolf.
Yeah.
Was it just called? No, that was the Jack movie.
This was like the Wolfman. Yeah, because it was like the remake of the Universal Wolfman. So I can't think of one since then. There were werewolves in Twilight, but no, that doesn't count.
It would be Underworld would be the biggest. Did you see where they kind of smashed that whole Universal Monsters world that they were going to create? Yeah,
I did. Which I wasn't all that excited about it. Like, I don't need like a joint, like a big world, just make the movies,
Yeah, it was supposed to be, there's a Dracula one that was a Dracula Untold, was supposed to be the start, and it didn't do well. And then The Mummy bombed, and they just kind of squashed the whole thing.
Yeah. I didn't see The Mummy. Did you see it?
I couldn't.
Yeah. The Dracula one I think was good. The Invisible Man, was that a separate one, or was that supposed to be part of that?
It was supposed to be a part of it, but then this was separate. Elizabeth Moss's version. It was just I think they threw away that whole world and then did this instead.
Okay. Because that movie wasn't too bad. It was not quite the Invisible Man that I'm used to, but but yeah, I don't know. Like, I love those old Universal movies, but I didn't want them to do like a Marvel kind of like turn them into superheroes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of what it seemed like they were about to do. So I'm not too upset that they're not going to do that.
Yeah, because they were already they had Fat Russell Crowe was in there as Dr. Hyde or Jekyll and Hyde. So they were kind of they were going to weave all these stories together.
Yeah. Well, that would have been kind of cool if they did it, depending on how they did it. But because I would still like to see, another Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That wouldn't be bad. But you know what happens now is they just make like movies that have that theme and they call it something else.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Which is, you know, unfortunately with horror movie, I feel like horror movie is the genre right now that suffers the most because of comic book movies and stuff. Like you don't see as many horror movies, like with the kind of budgets that you know make it like a Shining or something like that. That's my opinion.
Nah.
You know, because like westerns, all that, they're kind of not as as popular anymore too. So I think horror movies will have a resurgence though, and I feel like A Quiet Place 2 could be like one of those movies that really helps.
Oh yeah,
as mainstream popular as it was.
Jordan Peele with helping out with Candyman. I think there could be a rise of more horror movies coming soon.
You know, this isn't. We're not going to review it or even really talk about it, but Tomorrow War. Did you see that one with Chris Pratt? It's kind of more of a monster movie to me. You could put it in there as a monster movie, right?
Yeah, I thought it was good. It was okay.
It was okay. It was a little slow, like in places. Like I didn't think it needed to be 2 hours.
Yeah, how about J.K. Simmons, all jacked and stuff?
Yeah, I like J.K. Simmons. I like the movie. I think maybe they could have edited about 30 minutes out of it, and I'd have been like,
yeah,
all right, this is right on. But I mean, as far as the special effects and everything, that looked like a big budget Hollywood, movie theater release movie. You know,
they sold it to Prime for $200 million. So
dang,
yeah.
These big movies coming to like Netflix, like Army of the Dead, and all those that are the big box office movies. That's pretty cool. I like that. A Quiet Place is still not on, or is it? No, I think it's after the 16th. It might be available on the Paramount Plus or one of those if people haven't gone to see it. But I still say go see that one at the theater. It's worth it.
Yeah, that's a theater movie right there. So you can slowly open your candy.
Yeah.
And try not to make any noise.
Yeah. Are you going to the horror con?
That's my son's birthday. I want to go, but can't. Okay. Hey, I can't really drag him to that. It's not his bag. Man. But I want to go. Have you seen the guest list?
No, I haven't. Is it huge?
Okay. Yeah. Well, for people like you and I, it's fun. It's Bill Moseley.
Nice.
Yeah. Which they're doing like a Leatherface 2.
I saw that viewing. Yeah.
At Rodeo. And then the Danielle Harris is going to be there from Halloween, Hatchet, the Rob Zombie Halloween.
Cool.
She's going to be there. What was she was in? She was in, who was she? Roseanne too. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
Yeah, she was one of the friends on Roseanne.
Oh. Wait, yes, I do. Yes, I do. I think she came back. On this last season. Do you watch the Connors?
I do. She was on it?
No, maybe that wasn't her. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. One of the old friends came back anyway.
And then Tyler Mane is going to be there.
Oh.
And the kid. I can't ever say his name. I'm not even going to try. The kid who plays young Michael.
Oh, yeah. Dag?
Dag, yeah.
That's cool. He was supposed to come to one last year, I think, and didn't make it. So it'd be cool to meet him.
Well, they still had it. He just because of COVID, nobody showed up pretty much.
Yeah.
But this time around, they got a pretty good lineup. It's on the 24th at Remington Park. So check it out if you want to meet those people, get an autograph.
Well, I guess I won't. What I was getting at was, I feel like we're the hottest thing in horror right now in Oklahoma City, and especially Tacoma Park. But shouldn't we be like guests of honor, or shouldn't we like host panels? Or
I think so.
Maybe next year. We
got to build up some followers and listeners, right? Before we.
Hey, how many shows have we done? 2. We've had 2,000, views and over 2,000 views and listens. So.
Oh, really?
I don't know how many listens. I don't really count, but I definitely know on our Facebook Nerds to Men page, we've got about 1,000 people per show that watched it. So
nice.
Yeah. CPC.
I apologize to those 1,000 people.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it's 2,000 people, right? Or maybe it's just
and there's like 1,000. Several people in one room. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. That's what they should do. They should have at the HorrorCon, they should show our podcast in a room nonstop, like on loop. We'll have a couple more shows by then. Maybe one, but maybe two.
Hey, I know some peoples. We could be there.
Well, you can't be there. I don't want to go by myself.
Yeah, sure. You're solo.
Well, what if Harvey's like also a guest of honor? Then can he come?
He does. Yeah, I think he'd be into that. He's not real big into scary stuff.
Yeah, yeah. My nephews, like, the scariest thing I've shown them was Ernest Scared Stupid, and even the younger ones were like, that troll's kind of creepy. And I was like,
yeah, that's too much.
It's kind of creepy. So, all right. Well, until the next show, Nugget. I don't have like a great like a sign off yet. I'll come up with something like don't bleed to death or something.
Okay. I'll be right back.